Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's Lunch and Learn. I'm Lauren Anderson with the International Franchise Association, and we have a great 30 minutes signed up for you. Before we begin, I would like to remind everyone that we are recording today's webinar and will make it available later this evening on franchise.org. If you have any questions for today's speakers, please add them to the Q&A box and they will be addressed toward the end. Today's topic is adapting to Google AI overviews, what franchisors need to know, and it is brought to us by Location 3. Here to provide today's discussion is Alex Porter, CEO of Location 3, Daniel Larson, Head of Owned Media at Location 3, and Shalini Reddy, VP of Marketing Operations at Location 3. Thank you all for joining us today, and thank you to Location 3 for sponsoring today's Lunch and Learn. I'll go ahead and turn things over to you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Everyone, welcome to the show. We have a lot to cover in a short time to do it. So we're going to dive right in. Location 3, hopefully most of you have heard of us. We've been around since 1999. We specialize in digital marketing for franchisors and franchisees, very active members of the IFA. And if you haven't considered it yet, please consider attending the IFA Advocacy Summit next week in DC, where we will be lobbying on behalf of the franchise business model. And separately, consider this your invite to, we're hosting a crab feast at the Quarterdeck in Arlington on the night of the 16th. So if you want to come, let me know. So that's a little bit about us. I'm Alex, and we've got some amazing folks on the call with us today. Daniel is our head of owned organic media. Daniel, say hello and let us know your preferred AI tool that you use currently.
Hello. My name is Daniel Larson, head of owned media at Location 3, and I would say that the tool I use the most is probably a ChatGPT Pro subscription. Excellent for deep research and presentation creation.
Awesome. And then we also have Shalini, who is our expert in all thing paid Google Ads expert. Shalini, what is introduce your preferred tool and why?
Hi, everyone. So excited to be here. My preferred tool is Copilot. Not only does it comply with our internal data governance, I use it like a research assistant, an analyst to brainstorm, ultimately increasing my productivity.
Awesome. I know we have a Q&A chat opened. So as we go through, please drop any questions you might have in there. We'll get to them hopefully at the end if we have time. In the meantime, just as a kind of a poll, if you want to participate, drop in the chat what you like to use from an AI tool standpoint, and we'll see what wins here. All right, so we're just right in. So this, I don't think I'm being over exaggerating here when the change that's happened in the last, call it 6 months, is one of the biggest changes in search that we've experienced as digital marketers. So what we want to do today is walk you through the current environment and then leave you with some direct things that you could do, some action items that you can do today to help your brands in this new world. A quick brief history lesson. This is not new, right? Google's job is to, and really what we're talking about today is Google. Google's job is to provide information to consumers. And Google makes revenue if consumers go to use that tool to find what they're looking for in this ecosystem that we work with. But this is not new, right? So they introduced RankBrain, which was their first AI foray in 2015. So a solid 10 years ago. And they've been iterating on this throughout the last 10, 11 years. So while a lot of this feels new, this has been happening for quite some time. So we have to understand the history in order to understand how to leverage the new environment that we're in today. So what are we really talking about here? We're talking about Google's AI overviews in Google search, which essentially is summaries generated by their AI and displayed at the top of Google search results. And they provide an overview of a topic with links to learn more. So just in case you are unfamiliar, we'll do a quick demo, right? Everyone, I'm sure, has seen this, right? So the question is, how the heck do our brands, your brands, at this top of Google, right? So based on our data, what we're seeing is that 40% of all queries on Google are showing AI overviews. And on top of that, when AI overviews appear, click-through rates for both paid and organic decline precipitously. So we're having a rise of zero-click searches. We're having a decrease in organic traffic. However, when a brand is able to show an AOI, click-through rate for that brand increases dramatically. So crucially important. And I'm going to turn it over to the experts to tell you how to take advantage of this new world. So Daniel, first, before you dive into your section, I'm seeing GEO, AEO, AIO, SEO is still out there. What do we care what it's called? Or is this just like, hey, we're just trying to show up? Or is that what it could be called? Like what's your take on the nomenclature and do we care at all?
Um, I would argue that you're absolutely right. We don't actually care. I think the reality of this new search behavior is that whether it's AI overviews, AI search, AI mode, Claude, ChatGPT, or Google search by itself, no matter what it is, they base their results on basically the same thing. So it's trust, it's natural language written queries, Q&A answer format, keeping it personalized, fast, contextual, relevant, and following user intent. So doesn't really matter which AI you're looking at, you're going to want to do basically the same thing.
Got it. Which is?
Which is for franchises, and it's a little bit specific for the franchise business due to the national local model that a lot of websites use. But as a generalization, AI overviews or AI search rely on structured data, meaning that your local business schema, offer and review schema must be up to snuff. The content that you write for AI overviews or AI search should be answering the questions of the user. The difference from traditional search mainly being that you have a lot longer keywords or phrases to play with, which does affect the content that you want to produce. Expanding local pages, for example, with Q headings or question headings and TLDRs, which is a short description of page content, is very important. So is hyperlocalization. AI is also a little bit more picky on AI mode, a little bit more picky when it comes to how fast it wants the responses. Obviously, Google wants to provide responses as quickly as possible. So outside of everything else, you want to make sure that you fulfill the core web vitals that Google recommends for getting picked up for AIOs, which is a largest contentful paint of 2.5 seconds and a CLS of less than 0.1 second. So basically, the faster you are, the better you are at getting crawled, the better chance you have at least technically show up in AI overviews.
And if anyone can define CLS, you get a Starbucks gift card. I have no idea what that means.
It's the element loading for web overviews, but largest contentful paint is the absolutely most important.
Gotcha.
For franchises, it's also very important that your site follows the rules, so to speak. So GBP, NAP, and service description all needs to match throughout because AI uses every little part it can find to create this picture to show to the visitor. or the searcher.
So Daniel, from me, from not an SEO expert, right? It seems like what we're talking about here is the foundational elements are still relatively the same. We're just diving in a little bit deeper to this localized experience with better content really built to answer questions. Is that somewhat fair to say as a TLDR?
That is a very fair say of putting a fair way of putting it. There are some things that differ on a technical level, like how quick you want to be, and schema as far as AI cares a little bit more about structured data. But the reality is it's not new SEO; it's
Right.
SEO with a tweak.
Got it.
So
Okay.
everything old is new, and everything new is old.
Exactly. All right. So here's some right now type tactics to employ.
Absolutely. So very concrete and very fitted to the franchise industry. There are a few things that most people can sort of look to when they want to target the sort of new search, what should I call it, landscape of AIO or AI search or AI mode. So for franchisors, shipping schema-ready national templates is a brilliant idea. They can also flow down to local relevance. Uh, Try to publish content and QA for resource hubs so that organic demand gets the answers they need. And make sure to build internal link hubs so that you don't end up with any orphan pages or confusion. If you confuse AI, it won't be able to answer the question as well as it should. And on a local level for franchisees, um, I would argue that for localization, the really important part there is being hyper local and answering questions. If you can add a TLDR or 2 or 3 sentences of local context that pulls in neighborhoods, landmarks, partnerships, and things that anchor your franchisee landing page or microsite as a local authority when it comes to answering questions regarding your product or service, you're doing really well. Unique photos and videos, both to pages and GBP microsites, is also really important. And tying into that, photo descriptions and not reusing photos across all franchise locations is also important. AIO and Google takes that into concern to establish whether or not you are a local authority. And you can also track impressions through Google Search Console to an extent, GA4 obviously, and a few other tools that allow you to, even on a local level, pull AIO data. SEMrush, for example, and there are a few other like Athena HQ that specializes in specifically AI answers and AI overviews and search.
And I noticed some European spelling of words here, but it still counts in the US too.
It does.
Talk to me about, I see a lot of discussion on LinkedIn and other areas about particularly of these two sources of data. Can you touch on this just quickly on why this matters and what you can do about it?
Absolutely. So there are a few sources online that research has shown that they carry a lot of weight when it comes to how AI sort of qualifies websites, pages, and authority when it comes to answering questions. So Wikipedia and Reddit in particular, and Reddit very much lately, are considered extremely authoritative for almost every AI. It shifts a little per model, but generally I would say that showing up, having a Wikipedia page for your franchise and attempting to show up organically for on Reddit in comments and or posts is something that can truly help drive AI overview answers and snippets and establish your franchise and franchisees as an authority that is highly likely to be quoted in AI overviews.
Makes sense. Perfect transition too, because I know that Reddit is really pushing their paid program these days, and we've seen some success at Location 3 with some of our clients. I'm not sure if that helps the organic at all, but that's always a question, right? Does paid help organic at all? But we won't answer that question for this. Instead, we'll turn it over. Shalini, tell us about the world. How does paid work in this world? What can you do? Is there an opportunity to have paid in this AI world? Oh, Shalini, we're getting a little microphone, or at least I am. Nope. Uh-oh. Let's see if we can fix that. If not, I will do my best here. In all disclosure, we're a Microsoft Teams shop, so sometimes when we switch over to Zoom, it maybe click on the audio button, the caret there next to audio, and see if there's a different selection that you might need to no. Okay. I will start, and then if Shalini can get back in a second, we'll let her pick back up. But basically, AI for paid, right? So let's always remember that Google makes money off of paid ads. So nope. And so we know that Google wants to take advantage of this paid opportunity. And so what is available to you right now is a product called AI Max. So if you are advertising on Google, and you aren't testing out AI Max, that is an immediate takeaway for you to do immediately. Ask your marketing team, ask your agency, what are we doing with AI Max? And how do we take advantage of it and how do we test it out? We are seeing really strong performance, better performance than we saw with PMax. So essentially, AI Max does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. You have to have a few things to really work. You have to have really good data. You want to have really clear objectives for the campaign. And then you need to have kind of a separate plan for brand versus non-brand. And you should split budgets up between AI Max, Shopping, and Performance Max. But US AI search ad spend is forecasted to be 26 billion in 2029 versus 1 billion in 2025. So over the course of the next 4 years, this is something that will be a mainstay in all of your budgets. So great time to test it out right now. And I would be remiss if we didn't say how important it is for you to have really good data. These programs, PMax, AI Max, whatever the case might be, they do not work well unless you are having a closed loop reporting system. And what that means is if you're tracking leads or calls or revenue, whatever the case might be, we have to feed that data back into the system in order for these tools to really do their job. So before you embark on a AI Max journey, really gut check on your data and are you able to provide this clean, ripe data back to Google? Shawnee, any luck with that audio?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. What did I
Yeah.
miss
Okay,
on
perfect.
what
So
did I
sorry,
miss on
technical
this? What did I miss
difficulties.
on this slide?
Well, I did not hear, I was trying to log back in, but I think the most important takeaway is to tie in your campaign strategy to make sure you are eligible to show up in AI overviews when they do appear. And by campaign strategy, I really mean look at your keywords because keyword matching is very important in order for your ads to show. Are you bidding on both brand and non-branded terms? Are you using smart bidding? Are you using all the features Google has to offer to win the AI game, which is, PMax. We have AI Max, which is a new feature that Google added. So just being prepared to win the AI game is key to your campaign strategy.
And I left a note here, Shawnee, about where I mentioned that the rise in AI Max investment over the next few years. So we anticipate, I don't even want to guess, but do you think that's, for 2026, 20% of your budget should go to this 100%. What are we seeing as a kind of a best
Well,
practice right now and maybe in the future?
I don't think there's really prescribed percent of marketing budget because every business is different. But I'd say put whatever you can and make sure you are staying competitive
Right.
in the industry to meet your business goals.
And I talked about how important the data is. Do you have
Oh,
any
yes, data is
additional?
key. Test using data, optimize using data, drive strategy using data. Data is so important.
So we wanted to have a little summary of between SEO, so organic, right? Don't forget about the importance of local listings in your business profiles. This really is the foundation for AI overviews for locations. So you can enhance those, use the Q&As, respond to reviews. Please respond to reviews. And then this integration with paid search and organic, use like Daniel mentioned, to understand where you are currently and where you can go, right? There's a number of tools out there that will provide you with rankings on AI overviews. So if you're not using a tool there, definitely investigate best in class. We could certainly show you the right direction there. And then we wanted to also talk about what can your franchisees do, right? This is so local focused. And because of the franchisor franchisee relations, there's a really big opportunity for franchisees to shine in AI overviews over the next, call it 12 months, by taking some matters into their own hands. So one of the biggest things we're seeing is brand mentions in local publications. So local PR, essentially. So digital local PR, doing that and reaching out to various Better Business bureaus or going to networking events, sponsoring local activities, getting citations back to your website, other businesses that your franchisees might know, doing some reciprocal linking, finding other local sites and doing some guest blog posts. So like Daniel mentioned earlier, it's not new, it's just tweaked a little bit. And the importance of this localized activity is increasingly important. But it's something that, you know, if you went out to your franchisee system and said, hey, do these three things over the next 3 months, they're going to have an advantage as it when it relates to AI overviews now and in the future. So huge opportunity for franchisees and franchisors to really win this AI overview game. Now, with all that being said, the second that this webinar comes to a close, is everything we just talked about is history. So the name of the game here is iteration. The name of the game is testing and measuring, following logic and best practices. Um, I think every single day a new article comes out on the various trade magazines about how and why to do this, how to achieve results. And you know, let's be honest, Google is going to change the game again sometime in 2026. Look, Andrew Beckman, our founder, just walked by as a hi, Andrew. Good to see you. And so that's maybe the biggest takeaway is this is a moving target. It's new but also old, and huge opportunities for franchisees and franchisors to take advantage of this if you put into practice these things right now. All right, so we have a couple questions. Yes, the recording will be sent out if you were registered. And the question is here, are there any tips when using AI Max when it comes to promoting services versus products? So Shalini, any differences that you're seeing between a service and a product in terms of AI Max? Oh, your audio's out again. I don't know what's going on over there. Um, you want to just type it in the chat, Shalini, if you have that? All right. There's got to be some more questions. You've got two amazing experts on the line right now. Know all the everything you wanted to know, but we're afraid to ask. Don't be afraid to ask. We'd love to take the opportunity to tell you some more stuff. Um, a little self-promotion. Okay, we got another question. When responding to reviews is 12 to 24 hours in a appropriate time frame. Yeah, as long as you respond to them, I don't think there's a, if you did it a year later, I don't think that that's that's not best practices, but yeah, you're good for 12 to 24 hours is great. Great. Best resources for image creation. The new Google Gemini, I know has great image creation capabilities, and I know that there's something called Flow, I think, that they are. Someone just wrote Nano Banana. Not familiar with Nano Banana, but that maybe is the image creation. Oh, wait, is it the banana? Is that the little thing on the Google's thing? Yeah. So when I was wondering why there was a banana there. Okay. I wonder what the story is behind that. I don't know why it's a banana, but yes, it is on my phone, the little banana. I use it all the time. So Shalini, just in case everyone sees, keywords are key. Make sure your keywords align with service or product near you advertising via search. So really look at your keywords. What's on the screen right now? We wrote a white paper about AI overviews. It is about 2 months old at this point, so some of this stuff might be outdated, but feel free to scan the QR code and download that. And we want to leave you with a couple of final thoughts. So my final thought is data. If you are unsure, if you can report back to Google your customers from lead to revenue to booked appointment to whatever it might be, take the time. Take the time. It's worth the effort. It's worth the time to get the data in a good spot. So that's my ask. Please make your data beautiful. Daniel, I'm going to go to you and I'm going to request that you do it in Swedish.
Eh, jag kan ju säga lite vad som helst eftersom det är på svenska, men jag kommer vara på ChatGPT Developer Days i oktober, så om man vill träffa mig så kan man åka till San Francisco.
I love that. I think he said that he's going to Chat GPT days in San Francisco in October, and it's going to be awesome.
That is indeed true. And as a final thought, I'd also like to add that to the data point, something that is happening is that paid and organic media is starting to meld together in the sort of time and age of AI. So the next big thing, in my belief, among many, is going to be co-optimization of paid and organic media. So data, sync your landing pages, look at your keywords, and figure out what AI wants.
Awesome. All right, Shalini, if your audio is working, you get the final word.
I don't know if my audio is working.
It's working.
It did.
It's working?
Yes.
Oh, great. So my final words, test. And if there's one thing you can test today, this week, test AI Max. Make sure you look at your keywords and then test AI Max.
Amazing. Thank you so much for everyone joining. We are right at time. So good work. I'm impressed.
Thank
Back to you,
you.
Lauren.
Thank you so much. This was excellent content and excellent feedback from all of you. We really do appreciate it. Again, this webinar was recorded and along with the presentation deck will appear on our website early this evening. You'll be able to find that at franchise.org. Thank you very much again to the Location 3 team. And again, thank you to everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day and stay safe and healthy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.